A Canadian Radio Sanctuary podcast. Still some restrictions, but it's not like last year, right?
Yeah, it's expanded on last year, but kind of based on what we did last year. The restrictions last year, we did a small series of concerts, and because we couldn't do them in Harrison due to the unavailability of the hall for obvious reasons, and also, in our normal festival, we're on the waterfront, and we don't have any fences or anything like that. People flow in and out. We couldn't obviously do that because we have to cap the number of people that can come in. We reached out to the Schwichtenberg family in Agassiz to see if we could use their farm because it was just a great big space that worked really well. So we did some concerts on there last summer, and they agreed to do a small festival this year on their property, which was fantastic. So we're doing our regular length of a festival, which is about 10 days, with about a reduced number of shows. And at the moment, we're capping the audience at 50 per show because that's what's allowed at the moment. But it might open up a bit after July 1st.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it all starts July 10 right through the 18th.
That's right.
Give us a bit of a rundown. We'll get into if there's a children's festival part of it or not. We'll get into that in just a minute. But who are some of the acts coming? You got a few of the big name regulars.
Yeah, well, a nice thing, sometimes it's interesting. It's an interesting challenge when normally we're international, and so we have a balance of, we have mostly BC acts with quite a few people from other parts of Canada, and usually about 8 to 10 international acts, and which we share with the bigger festivals, which is one of the reasons why our festival happens when it does, because it's right in the middle of festival season, and so we can usually circulate these artists, right? Mm-hmm. But this year we were restricted to BC artists, and the lucky thing is we live in a province with a huge amount of talent, right? So, and with the dearth of work for musicians at this point, they were like ready to jump on and excited to get the gigs. So everybody we have is great, and we have some of the more recognizable names. I mean, the one that sold very quickly was Jim Burns, because for people around here, that's a name that people know and is a great blues artist and actor that people have known for 30, 40 years or so. But we also have people like Ferris and Jason Romero, who played here a few years ago, who have recently won a Juno for their most recent album. And everything they put out is just exquisite, just beautiful, Appalachian style, songwriting type of thing.
Yeah, and Jason, he actually makes banjos, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He's just an amazingly talented guy. And they've kind of got this wonderful idyllic life up there in Horsefly, although a few years ago, famously and sadly, their workshop burnt down. No one got hurt, but they rebuilt it all again, and they're back with help from the community, and they're back at it. We've got the Bills. I'm very excited about the Bills on the second weekend because we've never had them at Harrison, at least since I've been here, and they're just a smoking acoustic quartet with just everybody in the group super talented at their instrument, and so that should be great. They play a lot of different styles. They'll go everything from Eastern European music to bluegrass to Celtic, and they do it all amazingly. The first weekend is unique in that it's kind of all centers around one collective of musicians, and that's called the BC World Music Collective. That collective is performing as an ensemble on Saturday night, and it's led by Tom Landa from the Paperboys from Locarno. And Tom's just a go-getter. He's involved in a lot of different things. And he created this project a number of years ago for the Vancouver World Music Festival. And so I've always talked about maybe we can get the collective in and then get the individual performers to do sets on their own. And that's exactly what we're doing on the first weekend. So it's a very culturally diverse weekend because that's what the ensemble's about. It's about bringing together people from different cultural backgrounds to make music together, and then they're all, a bunch of them are doing their own set. So that'll be the first weekend.
Tell us about the group Silk Road.
Yeah, Silk Road has played here before, at least a couple of times, I think, over the years. The last time was 2013, and it's based around a married couple, Andre Thibault on guitar and Chusha He on pipa, which is the Chinese plucked string instrument, plucked lute, really. And Chusha is an interesting musician. She was playing with many years ago with an ensemble out of the Republic of China, and they were touring here, and she defected and became part of the music scene very quickly. And a neat thing about Chusha is that she's grounded in Chinese music, but she's very experimental and open-minded about playing other styles of music. So it's a very collaborative, cross-cultural kind of a duo. And they've got a percussionist, great, well-known drummer with them named Phil Belanger. So it'll be actually a trio.
Well, before we touch on the final night, the final Sunday night of the festival, what is happening regarding the children this year?
It's kind of like what we did last year. We're just doing the musical side of it. We're not doing our crafts and arts yet because we haven't really found a way to manage it well enough. And we just wanted to wait one more year to do that. We may do something later in the summer. Some of these things which we can't do at this point, we're just waiting to see how the restrictions open up. And we've always got the option of doing stuff in August or early September. So we're thinking about that. But this will be a concert, and it's a really cool thing called the History of Motown, and it's really designed for kids and for families. So it's fun and educational because it's such upbeat music, Motown music from the late 60s and early 70s. It's Crystal DeSantis is a great soul singer based in Vancouver, and her band have developed this show, and it's really a family event. So we're kind of calling it a family day as much as a children's day. Definitely geared towards young people, the show.
The last night, the Sunday evening, you have the Sojourners.
Yes, I'm really excited about the Sojourners. Again, they've performed here, but not since I've been doing this, which is coming on 8 years now. So I've known Marcus for many years, and they're actually getting either a gospel trio, for folks that don't know them, black Southern gospel music injected with from their own experience, their own life experience and who they are. And for this, Will Smith is not doing it. He's one of the trio normally. It's normally 3 men. Will's being replaced by Dawn Pemberton, who's also doing a set by herself on Saturday night with her band, and she's an awesome soul and R&B singer. And so it's going to be really cool. It's going to be, of course, Marcus and Cowrie McClelland and Dawn Pemberton.
Well, that'll be quite a show. In fact, the whole week or more is going to be incredible. I'll let you go, Andy, because I know you're busy doing everything that you're doing there, as ticket sales and so on.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just mention it regarding ticket sales in case people are wondering. They may find that, like a lot of the evening shows, they will find that a lot of the evening shows already sold out when, some of them within 3 hours of being announced. But we are keeping waiting lists for them. So if they go online and try to book a show, they can book it and not pay, and then they'll be on a waiting list. Probably, we're kind of thinking we may add another 25 tickets after July 1st from what we've been hearing, but, there's no certainty, I guess, until we get there, but that's kind of what we're planning on.
HarrisonFestival.com is where you go. Before I let you go, volunteers, is it too late to sign up?
No, we're actually sending out that, I think it might even be today. So if you have been a volunteer before, you will get, or if you've signed up through our website, which you can do, you can go on there, and then there's a tab that says get involved, and there's a tab that says volunteer, be a volunteer. You can put your name to the list there. Of course, we've got far fewer positions this year because it's a much smaller festival, but we are looking for things like parking, attendance, and stuff like that. So there are some positions available.
Very good. Thank you, Andy.
All right. Thank you.
Get some rest once in a while.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.